try it again. Yeah. Yeah, that thing's got a, I don't know if you guys heard it. That didn't sound too healthy.
This video is brought to you by Sporlan, quality, integrity, and tradition.
On today's adventure, we got a complaint of an air conditioner not working. What did I walk into? This looks like a mini split. I mean a window shaker here without its cover. And I'm very curious about this fan placement. Yeah, that looks interesting, right? So, tried pulling this plug out and it's kind of whole thing falling off the wall. So I came right down here to a junction box just to see if we have power, and we do. I'm assuming this is a 120 volt circuit. Again, you know, even though this thing looks like a piece of junk, I'm still going to do my best to give them an honest diagnosis, you know. So we have power there. It's also interesting to see too that there's other power not being used. So that one's wire netted off, and so is that one. So that's another circuit, I guess. It's interesting. Check this out. Oh, the plastic chain turns the fan on. What I'm really curious about is this fan being used as a makeshift blower motor, or is this just like a booster fan to get air across the building? And what the heck is with that ductwork? Like, I don't know about this. So I'm trying to make sense of this because this, there was a disconnected wire in there, and these two red wires are going up through this into that box right there. And that's a 208 volt service. I've got the little chingus right here to make it 208, but they're only using 115. Oh, I don't know. This is really weird. A lot of makeshift stuff here. All right, this is the other side of the window shaker. There's no way to access it from here. I was just looking at it. You got to pull the cassette out from the inside, but that thing's too big for one person, even two people. I mean, that thing's huge. And then they have this heater right here, which, you know, just from the looks of it, looks like a piece of junk. I opened up here, the blower wheel spins. I went down here to the combustion area. The pilot is actually lit. It's a standing pilot, which I'm surprised. But I'm just kind of, it looks really rusty, you know? So I come in here, pulled open this section right here, and don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a big old crack on the heat exchanger right there. Right there. So there's nothing I can do about this guy. We're actually going to go ahead and disable the heat, turn it off, and the customer is going to have to consider replacing some equipment here, because I can't in good conscience or legally leave this thing running with a cracked heat exchanger like that. We don't want the occupants of this building to get sick or, you know, potentially die or anything like that. You could tell, I don't even know if this thing's ran for a long time, because this is the control wiring and it's bare. I mean, you know, it's just sitting over there. So yeah, that's no bueno. Customer's gonna have to consider some sort of a replacement here. They might, you know, I'm not a installation kind of a guy. Usually don't do jobs like this. If I was gonna do this though, I'd probably sell them on some mini splits, maybe. Most cost effective. I mean, of course I'd love to put a package unit up here, but pulling permits and stuff on a building this size would be a nightmare with this roof. You don't know what kind of a load it can take. Structural engineers, yeah, it just sounds like a pain. I'd rather just put in a couple mini splits, but I don't even know if their electrical service could handle 2 mini splits, because it's a rather large inside, so it really depends on what kind of a occupant they're gonna have coming in here. So this must be a supply duct, and they're actually ducting this window unit into the building. I was wondering what they were doing there, because I pull it up and there's sheet metal connecting, so that would be the supply. It's kind of like a hodgepodge thing, but I'm tracing this back. I was trying to see what voltage this unit was, and I can't find anything that indicates the voltage via data tags or anything. But opening this guy up, looking in here, we are connected for 208. This is a 208 volt plug, 208 volt receptacle, but it's only got 115 volts going to it. One leg is disconnected right down in here. So it is connected inside here, so that indicates to me that it is a 208 volt window unit and something's going on. Nothing is a direct short to ground, but I don't know what's the deal with why the power's disconnected. So I've got a pretty large occupied space right here. Kind of looks like a hairdresser used to be here or something. I can't believe that they cooled this entire place with that window unit. I mean, that does look like a 2-ton or something. It's pretty big. But okay, got it to turn on. Line voltage thermostat. But we gotta see. I mean, I can actually hear refrigeration. I can hear it cooling, but it's just trashed. I mean, surprisingly, this thing's still working. Putting out approximately 20-something thousand BTUs of cooling. .21 temperature split. That's pretty crazy. All that I did was connected return and then supply, and then we're just kind of, I made an estimate, a guess that it was a 2-ton. It might be a 1-ton, but still the fact that we are getting cooling is rather cool. I mean, let's see when we turn it off. Okay. So we turn it off, this guy, so we just have it set on high. And we just tripped the breaker. It doesn't like restarting at all. I wonder if the capacitor's starting to fail. Let's give it a minute. These old units don't like to restart like that, so either the capacitor's failing or it could just not like a restart. Gotta give it a minute. Let's try it again. Yeah. Yeah, that thing's got a, I don't know if you guys heard it. That didn't sound too healthy. All right, we're gonna give it some time. But yeah, that's a trip.
This one was actually filmed a while ago, and what it was an existing customer of mine that used to own like 15 restaurants, and he also had some property too that he leased out to other people. And he had a tenant move out of this piece of property, and then he wanted me to evaluate the air conditioning system. And I was like, yeah, no, not gonna happen, bro. Like that stuff needs to be replaced ASAP. So, you know, I disconnected the furnace because, yeah, that was done. And then the air conditioner, I was like, I don't even, there's nothing, like it works, but don't try to turn it off and turn it back on within a 10-minute period. You know, like I'm not even going to try to really go any deeper on that. You can't get that cassette out of the window shaker like that. It's spray foamed in, like, you know, that was just a dumpster fire for sure. Got to give them like a D+ for ingenuity with trying to make a forced air cooling system out of a window shaker. I mean, okay, someone used some ingenuity. That fan with the plastic chain hanging off of it was facing the wrong way because that was the return, right? So they'd have been better off, you know, putting multiple fans in the hallway if they were going to use the Redneck Engineering like they did to move the air back from the occupied space in the front. But yeah, I just told the guy, like, I wasn't interested in doing anything with that. I just gave him a bill for my time for my 2 hours or whatever it was. And I was like, yeah, dude, this equipment needs to be replaced. And he was like, well, can you give me a quote? And I'm like, yeah, I don't do that. And I told them that from the beginning when he called me out, because I knew the gentleman really well. He no longer owns the restaurants that he used to own. He sold the entire chain. But I told him, I was like, dude, I'm not an install guy. I said, I can go out there and look at it, give you my honest opinion, but you're going to have to find someone to do the installation of that equipment. My company's not equipped for that kind of stuff. We're a service and retrofit replacement company. Like, we don't mind doing package units and refrigeration equipment, but I'm not doing cut-ins and things like that for a building. No, just not going to happen. Not my style. So I don't know whatever happened with the property. I don't know if he sold it or if he kept it. I have no idea. When he called me, though, he was going to have a tenant come in pretty soon. So, yeah, I don't know. But also, I want to address, too, that I had never worked on I'm having a brain fart right now. Oh, also, I had never worked on a line voltage thermostat. I've seen them. I take that back. I have worked on them. I used to have a travel trailer, and we had a line voltage thermostat in the travel trailer. So I'd worked on it, you know, working on my own equipment. But I didn't realize that was a line voltage thermostat at first. And so that's why I was getting the 115 volts to the equipment, because the line voltage stat was basically acting like a light switch, breaking the power to the second leg for that, you know, window shaker unit, or I don't even know if you want to call that a PTAC because of the size that it is. But anyways, that wire nut, those are weird. I thought it was a wire nut, but it wasn't. It just looked like a wire nut. When I was showing it in the video saying it was disconnected, that wasn't a wire nut. There was a wire coming out the bottom side of that going into the line voltage thermostat. So anyways, once I figured that out, you know, I was able to turn it on. You guys saw that. I was able to see cooling, like it's working, but it's, you know, depending on what kind of a customer they were going to have coming in there, it's not going to cool that space properly. You guys didn't see, but I showed you the front space, but then they also had like a whole office, and then they had a room you kind of saw as I was walking up to the window shaker unit. They had like a garage behind the building too. So like there was no way that was going to cool the entire space. Their best bet, I told him, I said, your best bet is to put in multiple mini splits throughout the space or something like that, or they could put in a package unit, but they'd have to get engineers involved because it's a really old building. I wanted nothing to do with that dumpster fire for sure. So, you know, sometimes I run into this weird stuff. You know, I figured I'd throw it up here. I really appreciate you guys making it to the end as usual. It's really awesome to see all the support, the comments, the feedback that I get from you. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's a couple different ways to do so. The easiest way is simply just watch the videos from beginning to end. There's links in the show notes of this video for a couple different methods: PayPal, Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Also, if you guys are interested in purchasing any tools, go to TrueTechTools.com. Use my offer code BIGPICTURE. That's one word. If you use my offer code, you get an 8% discount on almost all the items on the website. There's a few things that the discount doesn't apply to, but almost all the items you get an 8% discount. And then when you use that, I get a small commission. So it's kind of a win-win, cool little way to help support the channel. But again, like I said, the easiest way, watch the videos from beginning to end. And then last but not least, go to my website, HVACRvideos.com. We have merchandise available. We have lots of hat styles. We have the fitted hat that I wear. That's an active hat. It's breathable materials. You don't sweat as much. Then we have a flat bill hat. We have a dad hat. We have beanies, sweaters, t-shirts, stickers, all that good stuff on my website. So check it out. Again, HVACRvideos.com. I really do appreciate you, and we will catch you on the next one, okay?